sub, follow, everything. LDBC, Trilitary, TWT, Simple Truth Network. Support my OGs, OG Local, Cono Local Sports TV, OGK Hope, that's Black Fight Fan TV, and the OG, the General, 7A Sports TV. Check out my brother, 94 Sun God, that's Black Sun on Instagram and YouTube, and my other two channels, HFO Church and Acting Right TV. There are three ways to support the channel, family. Three ways to support the channel. Way number one, shopusualsuspect6.com. Shopusualsuspect6.com. Get you some combat tool bag merch. We got warm weather gear, we got cool weather gear, we got hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, combat tool bags, shoes, hats, anything you can think of. We pretty much got it. Support it. Shopusualsuspect6.com. Way number two, uh, I missed one part. Support my brother's Usual Suspect 6, the Usual Suspect 6, shop Usual Suspect 6, and also support each line that they have for themselves and collectively. Way number two to support the channel. There's a 4-book series on entry level financial literacy available on Amazon.com called the Hustle God series. Please support. You will find Hustle God's Linguistics of Money, that's the language of the 1%. You'll find Hustle God Masterpiece, Daily Golden Mind Molding. You'll find Hustle God Afro Gold Part 1, and you'll find Hustle God Art of the Hustle, all available on Amazon.com under the Hustle God series, or you can type in my name, Michelangelo Turner, and they should all pop up. The third and final way to support the channel is you could sponsor or endorse an athlete creator by donating and diving into the Cash App anytime. Anything counts. It all goes a long way and it's much appreciated. The cash tag is money sign hustle god inc. Money sign hustle god inc. Just as it sounds. That said, wow, what's cracking with y'all? It's your boy Prince the Hustle God, aka Wise the Warlock, aka Michelangelo the Madman, and we reaching in our combat tool bag one more again. It is a cold black affair. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, LDBC only, LDBC or nothing, LDBC versus everybody, and LDBC everywhere. That said, guys, welcome to episode 8 of the Boxing Breakdown. We have a special guest co-host that we'll have with us here today, LDBC's own. You all know how we rock and how we getting down. So you could expect a surprise from a family member. But on the docket for today, what we have to look forward to today, we got Lomachenko labeled a traitor by his country, and also hinted at by one of his own countrymen or someone close from that side. Also hinted at that on a family member's channel, and then we also have Calvin Ford and Derek James and their mutual respect and their recent interview together. Then we have obviously the past bouts that went on this week, Tank, Boots, Speedy, etc. And then we have what's upcoming, the FA and Big Shot Shaw card, and then we have a little clip to discuss. But I'm not going to give that away just yet. But while we're waiting on our guest, we may as well dive into a couple of the things, just a few of them, and yeah. So you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna I'm gonna start it off with the clip. So the clip, if you guys haven't already recognized, the thumbnail is Andre SOG Ward. So we gotta discuss the clip that was dropped on IG, and yeah, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No, it won't work. That shit. Andre SOG Ward with the little clip, you know what I'm saying? The no weapon with the Scotty Wop. Shadow boxing in the ring. You see Virgil on the side peeking up at him. Man, my blood started to yeah, I mean go a little bit when I seen the OG SOG moving around a little bit. Granted, this can mean nothing. This could be just a teaser. This could be just to get some attention, but this could be also the hinting at a possible comeback. So when I seen SOG in the ring moving around, he dropped that nice little clip with the with the music in the background, and he had his weighted vest on, and he's shadow boxing and moving around. I'm like, could this be him coming back for a one and done? Could this be, he don't look big enough, you know what I'm saying? But so I don't see no heavyweight action, but Queen, the sweetest voice on the net, one of the sweetest people I know, Queen Tay Tay. Welcome, welcome. This is episode 8 of the Boxing Breakdown. We will have a special guest co-host with us, LDBC Zone, of course. But I appreciate you stopping by, Queen. I really do. Make sure you have a great night, by the way. But that said, yeah. So when I seen that clip with Andre Ward, I was like, oh shit, man. If he come, my brain just started going. So I was like, man, if he come back, he might come back and dust off Canelo for a one and because he don't look big enough for heavyweights. He looked like he could be about 190, one upper 180s. But that said, that would only limit him to his former divisions that he was in, not anything that we haven't seen him in, which would only have me thinking he would come back for a big money fight like the Canelo, because he was always giving them funny facial expressions when people would ask him about a Canelo, and he may be and all cool, but give a wink or a raised eyebrow and shit. Uh, about to share this championship. Oh, please, by all means, I appreciate that, Queen. All the love you show, I appreciate it. You don't gotta ask either. Thank you. Um, but yeah, so that said, just the, what I'm saying, I didn't want to take too many topics away from my co-host who will be around a little bit later. Um, but yeah, that was one thing that was on my mind, was that that no weapon, you know what I'm saying, and seeing them move around and shit, and I'm like, this would be the makings of something great if we got to see Andre Ward grace the stage again, or get inside the ropes again. But we'll also get my co-host take on that as well. But moving on, um, Lomachenko is labeled a traitor. Also, this is hinted at and reinforced by Ivan Redkach on the Beyond the Ring with Rachel and Nonito Donaire, when they talked to him and interviewed him about Tank, and him referencing Tank's mental weakness or getting knocked out by by certain people in sparring and blah blah blah. He hinted at the current standing in the Ukraine is they love Usyk and they support Usyk and they stand with Usyk. But when it comes to Loma, they not fucking with his ideology at all, and they not rocking with him as a person. And then it just came out that Loma was labeled a traitor. So to me, that doesn't seem too crazy, because I think religiously there's a difference in what Loma is putting out there, that he follows versus what his uh, family. Just click the link inside inside your DM. It should take you directly. It should take you directly on, family. But welcome, welcome. But yeah, so it, it should be inside your IG, by the way. But yeah, so Loma, he's like, religiously he stands apart from, I think, what they do collectively believe or support in his home country. And then on top of that, he he recently came out bringing out his like hometown flag instead of the Ukraine flag, when everyone, I guess, in the Ukraine is using the symbol of the Ukraine flag as a symbol of unity, and yeah, like a symbol of them coming together and being one big family. And Loma, I guess their interpretation of Loma waving his hometown flag, not being the Ukraine flag, as a slap in the face of their form of attempting to unite or overlook their own differences. So that said, um, it's a strange occurrence for the Matrix, the hero of boxing, according to uh, the white consensus. Let's be honest, according to the masses um, that are followers of old media or followers of the narratives that are put out there, the false narratives that are put out there to big up these fighters who are not necessarily once in a lifetime talents. So yeah, that said, um, things are looking a little rugged for Cuz. Things are looking a little rough for him right now. Give me 1 second, guys. I hope everything's going right. So 1 second, y'all. I'm still here. I'm just trying to get my co-host situated. I think it may be giving him a hard time. Uh, 1 second. All right, sorry about that, y'all. I had to respond. Basically, the co-host for today is going to be Hustler's Home, and he may be having a hard time connecting. I'm not sure if he'll be able to connect, but if he's not able to connect, then it's all love. It's just I don't really know how to offer advice or assistance on that, seeing as all I do is send a link and start the live, and everybody else is just pretty much able to click in. But yeah, so with Loma, we got Loma on the docket. It looked like he labeled as, I'm saying, a traitor. He looked like he just something something ain't right with Loma and him and his views. His views are repeatedly colliding with that of the masses in his home country. And does that, him having his own unique views, make him a traitor? That's not for me to say. That's for his people to say. That's a them folks issue, concern type scenario in my book, and not my problem. Uh, but yeah, King Corleone family, welcome, welcome. PGH Big Dog, what's cracking with you, family? Welcome, welcome. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Let me wrench you up, King Corleone. You ain't wrenched up yet. Got you in here now. But yeah, Hustlers Home. If you still here, bro, my bad. I don't know what's going on. If you can't get through with the link. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Bada bing, bada booey. Yeah, Juan, what's cracking with you, cuzzo?
What's up? I got some. Hold on.
And you can have your camera on or off. It's up to you. The way I do it is I hit that switch thing. You feel me? Oh, you are crystal clear. So it's however you want to rock out. You can rock out with your camera on or off, bro.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Perfect, perfect. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is episode 8 of the Boxing Breakdown, and my special co-host is Hustler's Home, LDBC's own, a great young brother. You know what I'm saying? So, and also an experienced vet. I'm military raised, so thank you for your service. You and my dad would be considered brothers in arms. You feel me? So that
Oh,
said,
thank you.
oh no, thank you. But that said, please give a brief introduction. Tell the family where they can follow you if they don't know already, and yeah, how they can support what you got going on, bro.
Yeah, you could just find me on Hustle's Home on YouTube. I'm usually in the chat. Hold on, we got turn that off. Got an echo. But yeah, I'm just doing my thing, chilling.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So again, follow my Hustlers Home on YouTube and Instagram. Um, family makes excellent content, short form content, and I believe you also go live too as well, right?
Yeah, sometimes like if I'm feeling a fight, I go live. But otherwise, I be drinking, so I don't be trying to go live.
Understood, understood. So yeah, so you could expect a spontaneous live out of Cuzzo occasionally, but definitely check out for his short form video. He's consistent as hell with it. But that said, bro, I ain't gonna stall. I'm gonna welcome you in. So what we got on the docket, I might as well start back up at the top. Man, we had Andre Ward drop a clip with the Scotty Wap. No weapon shall form shall prosper. He's shadow boxing in the ring. He got his weighted vest on. He looking sharp. Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying. He looking sharp. And mind you, and I can see the look on his face too. Now, mind you, I hit basically all of my close peoples and Black Fight fan, my OG. You know what I'm saying? He was on some shit like, man, he need to get the fuck out of here with that shit. He need to sit down somewhere. I'm like,
Right.
OG, man. OG, chill. Like, let him breathe. Let him come back for a one and done and dust somebody off. He like he need to sit his ass down somewhere. Like, so I'm like, what's your take on what you see, bro? How you feeling about it? Talk to me.
Well, Andre Ward retired so long ago. You know what I'm saying? So if he get back in the ring, what do we expect? What do we expect?
Uh, is that a rhetorical question, or do you want to keep cooking? Because I could give you
That's a
a quick
serious.
short
Yeah, I want
answer.
a serious answer.
He could come back for a one and done. You feel me? He could come back for a one and done skill wise, and that boy named excuse me, Canelo Alvarez is never going to be at the level to be able to actually beat a Andre Ward, and that's the payday he would be coming back for, as well as the name that Andre Ward could come back for to solidify his resume. Because if we actually look at, I think it was on KO's channel where they started. Yeah, it was KO's channel. They analyzed Ward's shit, and I'm there, and I'm like, I'm one of Ward's biggest fans, right? I hate his cool, man. I don't really like him as a person anymore, but stylistically, I was one of his biggest fans, and they etched out and basically articulated that he ain't really fought nobody. He fought a bunch of Euro bums, and he got a Kovalev on his record. But who was the Dawsons of the world and the Skiobikas of the world? Like who were those people in actuality? So to put a button on his career, I think to dust off Canelo. You feel me? That's what my answer to your question would be there. You feel
Well,
me?
okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna answer your question with a question. Who is Canelo's um version of what you call it? Kovalev. Who's Canelo's Kovalev? Triple G?
Canelo's Kovalev. Canelo's Kovalev. That's a good point because I mean, in that essence, like we can't say Floyd because Floyd compared to that of the name that Andre Ward was trying to get out of Kovalev is like years above. So let's just remove Floyd from that equation and say it could be it could be seen as a Shane Mosley. Two people past their primes, two people who had big names that they were able to beat. You know,
No, I'm saying like when Andre Ward fought Kovalev, Kovalev was like this big bad wolf. He was the guy that
yeah, yeah,
supposed
yeah.
nobody didn't want to fight. He had beat who he beat Adonis Stevenson.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so who was Canelo's Kovalev?
That's a good point. I see what you're saying there. And
It would be
honestly,
Charlo,
you
but he
can't
doesn't.
say right. He didn't fight him. He didn't fight him. He didn't fight Andre. He didn't fight any of the names that we could say are his contemporary boogeyman, because
Yeah,
he's
so
been
he fought.
around
It
so
was Triple
long
G.
that yeah, yeah, he's been around so long that the the boogeymen have gone from generation to generation at this point,
Facts.
and
You
people
got
say
another
like we're on the
boogeyman.
third
He ducking
generation.
Benavidez. This like the
Literally, like,
third boogeyman back to back to back. He ducking.
and now we got Morel coming up. You feel me? So it's like, who knows? But you're on to something, and I think that's possibly why OG was on some. He need to sit his ass down sort of type shit. Because I'm like, you could come back and dust him off real quick, but you pose an excellent question though, because in that, the piggyback question is, what does Canelo have to get off of it? Yes, Canelo can use this opportunity to continue to do what he's done, and that's duck the best competition. But he could also end up in another Bivol situation with an Andre Ward, and then it'd be that much worse seeing as Andre Ward is coming off of like a 5-year layoff. Like, so
Yeah, I
I see
don't
where
think
y'all
so.
coming from. Yeah, I see where y'all coming from. But that was enough to, and mind you, I don't do no rumor talk on my channel, but that was the first bit of rumor talk that because Andre Ward, he popped out of the cuts with that one in the
It's funny
video.
though. It's
And I was
funny.
like, I
It's
had
funny.
to. Yeah, I feel like everybody laughing at me though, like, and not Ward. I'm like, yo, I feel like people laughing at my reaction because I'm like, I love high IQ boxers who, in my mind, I consider anti-boxers. So people who go in there to utilize the tools they got from boxing to destroy you, not necessarily to win on points. And when I see Andre Ward, like, no, he didn't have one punch knockout power, but he went in there as a workman. He beat you up at every range.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, this ain't all about war. That was just the
but
first
nah,
topic of the
it's
day.
like I get it because you like a boxing romantic,
Yeah, bro.
and you
Yeah, bro.
wish like this somehow that 5 year layoff didn't matter and age didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
You right, you right. And it's funny because typically I'm the rational mind on the channel. I'm the least optimistic about things, but you're absolutely right in this aspect. I'm a boxing romantic because I'm like, I see him on his shit and I'm like, oh my god, he could come and do something amazing. And it's like, I'm not considering this crazy layoff. I'm not considering the fact that his body was breaking down. That's why he stopped. He had surgery and shoulder problems. He had issues financially going into those last few fights where he was like, if I'm not going to get what I want out of the sport, then I'm not going to keep giving to the sport. So there's a lot I'm not taking into consideration, which reinforces that in this aspect, I'm the boxing romantic, and I take that. I take that.
Yeah,
But
and then when you say it like that, you could also say that he was boxing for the money. He wasn't boxing for the love of it. So that's why he easily just chucked his gloves. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. But like King Corleone said, I think he got something in the tank. But to y'all, like, in your defense, who is he gonna have the shootout against? Opulent LD, what's cracking with you, family? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So next topic. Um, yeah, so Loma labeled a traitor by his people. Yeah, let's go right to it.
Duh.
It's a horrible transition. But and then Ivan Redcatch, right? He also reinforces this with the Beyond the Ring with
Yeah, the
the
Donaires. I
Donaires.
watched it.
Yeah, and he was saying essentially that the country, they love Usyk, they rock with Usyk, and Usyk follows their religious beliefs and their ideology. Loma, on the other hand, he practices a different religion, and then also he came out. I mean, well, before I that isn't necessarily agreed with by the masses. It's not their country's mass religion, if you will, practiced. And
So
then on top, sorry.
so
And then
basically
on
what he's saying is Loma's a Russian sympathizer.
Yes, that as well as they said he came out with his hometown flag instead of the Ukraine flag in a time when his people are utilizing the Ukraine flag as a source of camaraderie, of a symbol to unite
and overlook their differences. And Loma is basically reminding them of their differences or standing apart, saying he doesn't support that ideology by bringing out his own hometown flag and holding that up and shit. So, what's your take on that? What do you feel about the information
Well,
given to you about it?
I'm gonna ask you a question. How would he know that if he wouldn't have went to war? What I'm saying, the reason why he flying his helm flag is he didn't know that they use a Ukraine flag because he wasn't there. He, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't at war. He thought they still was rocking the old shit. Man,
See,
that nigga ain't gonna goddamn war, bro.
I agree with you. I don't think he went to war, but at the same time, if you didn't go to war, then that wouldn't apply to. I mean, then the excuse you just gave him would apply because if you were busy at war, that's the only reason you would not know what the update was, right? But even
Exactly.
on his uniform, they had the Ukraine flag. Even at his fight, what was Usyk wearing when ducked Wilder? The Ukraine fucking yellow sweater and blue jeans. You know what I mean? So if Loma missed the memo, he's willfully missing the memo. One second. MP, what the fuck? What's cracking with you, family? Appreciate you stopping by. Definitely appreciate the support. King Corleone said, um, all these racists will come out of the woodwork if he loses. Like we give a fuck, and we damn sure don't. Damn sure don't. But continue, bro. I ain't mean to interrupt, but your take on him being a traitor and maybe why is it so important for Loma to stand apart and to be separate? Does he think that being a Russian sympathizer, as you put out there, like would that make him more popular to American citizens or more or less of a target? Like what do you think he gains out of this?
I feel like because since America don't even care, he can be invisible over here. He's just a boxer in America. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. That's a great point.
Because to the Ukraine, he was literally a national treasure. He was like two gold medalist, champion. You know what I mean? But when it's time to fight, he don't want to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, so
He be,
that's a good point. So he even before this in essence you're articulating that the fact that you kind of been a traitor before or he's been a traitor before the recent acts of his I guess popularizing his religion and his waving the flag, but the fact that he was resistant in going to go fight there in the first place because you fled and left your family there first, right? And then when you did take the picture of you actually being at war, it was several months later when it was virtually mandated. You know what I mean? So I think now I'm getting a little bit of echo. Well, I was, but it's not there anymore. It's gone now. But yeah, so that's a good point. But yeah, Loma Stinko, the trader. Ain't much more to that. So I guess I believe Ivan Rig catch a little more when it comes to Loma and his people, but I don't know about Tank getting knocked out by no Russians. But moving on, uh, moving on. Calvin Ford and Derek James interview. Their level of mutual respect. Did you manage to peep that? Like, what was your take on their energy, their cohesion, if you will?
well, they peers. They both got the top fighters in the world. They both in the conversations of the trainers of the year every year. They're peers, so I can imagine got nothing but respect for each other.
Yeah. Yeah, man. The interview for me, when I got a chance to see it, I was just like, wow. Like, first of all, that when you get a chance to see those two teachers next to each other, and you get to see their level of admiration for each other, and it
Yeah.
being mutual. Hey, what's cracking with you? Act welcome, welcome.
Hey, but one's a teacher and one's a
Echo.
coach.
Hey, now. Do you still got your headphones in?
Yeah.
Because Act said there's an echo, so I don't know where the echo could be coming from, but
It could be coming from my shit.
if you got your headphones on and the sound isn't coming from your phone, there shouldn't be an echo. But yeah, so to me now, I get what you're saying there. I think Calvin is a teacher though. I just think Calvin is at a juncture where his student is no longer his student, because when you have a student that isn't yours and you're a teacher, but they're a student, they don't necessarily, if they weren't, let's keep it a buck, if they wasn't raised right, they're not going to view you as their teacher. You feel me? You're not my sensei. You're a sensei, but you're not my sensei. And I think that's where Tank is with it, and it's a terrible philosophy to have. There's no upside to that. I just think Calvin Ford, what he's done with Truck Simpson, what he's done with Tank, what he's done with the kids that he has over at that gym, is he's given them a sense of identity with that. I would say the anti-boxing style they have, where they're not really movers over there, but they're not catch and shoot fighters either, but they're like somewhere between counter punchers and power boxers, and they systematically break you down. And I'm specific speaking about Calvin Ford here, where Calvin Ford, he just doesn't get a chance to showcase that as much, because we don't get that, because I guess the only way to put it is plainly, Tank doesn't respect him, and we don't get that respect from Tank that we get from EJ to Derek James. But I think if we did get that admiration um, that Tank should have for Calvin Ford, we would see more so that he's a teacher, because there's no way he's been with Calvin Ford from jump, and he acquired that from Barry Hunter. You feel me? Or acquired that from the side coaches, but for some reason Calvin Ford is there, and it's to the point where Tank isn't even 100% focused in like at least 3 or 4 of his fights, and he's able to do special shit in there. You know what I mean? Like special things to the point where you're like, this isn't natural. This is like you're you get a high level of boxing IQ like that from being taught and from it being drilled into you and you practicing it and you having a next level of understanding of boxing, because you can't produce things like what Tank has produced, um, unless you're just like blessed by the gods or just have like a flawless amount of luck. You feel me? But I see them both as teachers. Just to say that I just think one has an obvious level of respect that so much so that it's tangible, and that's Earl Spence and Derek James. Whereas we see that waning respect with Calvin Ford, but just because Tank doesn't respect him doesn't mean the world shouldn't. That's my take on
Well,
that. To be honest.
the big difference is results. You feel me? Like you got a coach that has a signature style, multiple champions, multiple like undisputed champion. You know what I'm saying? And then you got a guy that has a special fighter in Tank, and that's it. You
Now
understand what I'm
Tank
saying?
and Truck start beefing at the worst timing, because Truck was moving along pretty well. Truck was like on the Tank kind of undercard, I think last year. Then no, it was the year before last, and then he was on a Devin Haney undercard last year. Then Tank was on some, if you over there with them, then fuck you, and you ain't like with us no more. So for some reason, like we ain't seen Truck back over on that side again since. But if we look at stylistically, Truck Simpson, he like a big Tank. He's like a 154 Tank. He's not as magical as Tank is as far as with the power and the speed and the spontaneity of it. But he's a power boxer with educated feet, and in that weird defense that they do. Like I wouldn't say extremely sharp defense, but I would say they have eyes, very good eyes that see everything coming, but they have like an open stance where their hands are down low and they can see everything coming and they intercept people in the process. Now, granted, he's not up there with a Frank Martin. He's not up there with, you know, the there's no one else. There's nowhere else to go
Frank
because
Martin ain't
anything up
done
higher
nothing.
than that is yeah. But I mean, Frank Martin has fought a prospect that I mean has fought a contender, um, and I can't say the same for Truck Simpson. You feel me? So
Well, maybe
that
maybe they feel
said,
like he not ready.
yeah, but I think Tank partially fucked that up too. But I don't want to stray too far off of the fact that this is more so about the mutual respect and the admiration that was present in their interview. And I would say I like I like the respect that Derek James showed him again being a boxing teacher. More so. You can say one more so than the other, but him being a boxing teacher, but him seeing his likeness in his brother, even though we may feel he's better, and it may be evident that he's better than Calvin Ford, but him still seeing his likeness in Calvin Ford, him still having respect in Calvin Ford, and not viewing it as you just have a special fighter. You feel me? Viewing it as there's something that you're implementing properly into this man. So that said, like I love to see that, and that's what I really want to big up is the fact that those guys watch each other's fighters and they actually have love for each other and their and each other's camps. But
True.
staying in that vacuum, your final words on that.
I, he just respect one of his peers.
That's stupid. He said, "I just respect him. I just respect him. It's cool. I feel
Yeah,
you. I
right.
feel you. I feel you." Now,
The
you
nigga
feel me?
fighter
Something
don't even
else?
respect me.
Shit. And that's my point. I think that goes back to where we was at when we was talking about the differences in them being teachers. That's why I feel they're both teachers. I
Hey,
think Tank may not view him
what
as a
Tank was
teacher,
asking?
but
Tank was like, "Wh-
what's wrong
where
with my
Lennox?"
body? Oh shit. Yo, yo, and think about like man,
Bruh,
there was countless of
bruh,
times Floyd overtalked him,
man.
overtalked Calvin Ford. Nobody respect Calvin Ford, but that don't mean that 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 would be a contradiction. Because if I say nobody respects Calvin Ford, but that don't mean we shouldn't. That's literally
I mean,
a
I'm not
contradiction.
gonna
But
disrespect Calvin Ford, but I'm not finna call this nigga no, you know what I'm saying? Like no top coach or nothing like that. There ain't
I
no
think you might
evidence.
be onto something. Who knows? Who knows? I mean,
I'm just stating
firstly,
facts,
it
bro.
would be you're right. You definitely onto something. And I appreciate your transparency. Like you ain't pulling no punches with him. Like there ain't no reason to
I like
talk
him though.
shit. But I think
I like his.
based off
I
of
like.
Tank,
I like what Calvin Ford means to Baltimore
yeah, what
versus
he
him being
represents.
like the
Thank you. That's a
supreme
good point.
coach.
That's a good point because he has more proven work as a as someone who's contributed to Baltimore as a humanitarian than
Definitely.
technically a boxing teacher in the aspect of him sharing the likeness of a Derek James. So I get what you're saying. There ain't no free
Hmm.
pats on the back here. So I dig that. I dig that. Fuck it. Let's move right on. So that said, let's talk about the card that everybody been talking about, and that's the Tank Boo Speedy. So I called the undercard. There ain't even no reason to really cover it unless there's something that stands out that you really do want to talk about on the undercard. But
The
of
Rashidi
those
Ellis
names,
robbery.
oh yeah, oh see that's part of the main card. So
Okay, 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 okay.
we can talk about all of that. Yeah, we can talk about all of that. But since you said the speedy robbery, let's start with that. So let me lay it out for you. So
Oh no, no, no,
Speedy,
no, no, no. We should go in order because in order is just
yeah,
disrespect. It's pure disrespect.
yeah,
The pure disrespect of the order of the fucking card.
bro. Why is it that nobody was? I gave it as a toss up, literally a gimme question. Like when I was talking to K Rod about it, and then when I was talking to my family D Man about it, and I'm like, y'all don't see that Andre is not only before Boots and on Tank's undercard, motherfucker. He's before Rashidi Ellis, who he knows, who he watched come up. So you talk
What?
about somebody who he look up to having you're the opening act for him, for somebody that you look up to. I mean for somebody that you raise basically. It's like you're the opening act for your son type shit. Like that's
That's
backward. Then on top of that, like they act like they ain't see that that was Steven Espinoza. Like, bitch, you going to pay your dues. You want to run off on me and this, that, and the third. You're not getting no big deals until you prove to me that you loyal, and you gonna prove to me that you loyal by not only fighting by not only fighting on Tank's undercard, but you're gonna be the first fight. Like you gonna be fighting under motherfuckers who, think about it. It's not like they already had a relationship with Rashidi Ellis. They built a relationship with Rashidi Ellis around the time that they brought Andre back. So they known Andre way longer than they knew Rashidi Ellis, bro. Literally. And they still put that man behind them. They knew Andre longer than they knew Boots. Like, and Andre is a champion technically. So it's like no
hey,
matter how you slice it, dice it, or shake it, that was pure disrespect, and it was a way of saying, "Bitch, you gonna earn your meal over here." But yeah,
bro.
talk to me, talk to me.
I said this in my video, man. This like that's fucked up, man. Like also, I wondered, it does his pay reflect that? Did they
Ah, if
disrespect
it
them with the
do,
bread?
they couldn't have did it that bad. Now I think
Yeah,
they
because
maybe
that
they
nigga
could have
was
did it that
under.
bad.
He was under Rashidi Ellis, my nigga.
Think
Two-time
about that
champion.
shit.
Yeah, facts. I hope his check don't reflect where he was fighting at.
Ooh.
You
Cause
feel me? Like,
if it do, bro, then that means he probably got paid around the amount of
yeah, like
chocolate.
35,000,
You
something
feel
like that.
me? Like,
He got
yeah,
paid like
you
an
ain't get
MMA
that
fighter.
much. And mind you, this is coming off of the man who didn't want to accept a couple 100,000 to fight his mandatory at 160. So
Facts.
it better not have matched. Just to go back off of what you say, it better not have reflect. It better not have reflected his stance on the card. Because if his pay reflected his position on the card, then he made less money than what he would have fought over there on the zone fighting his mandatory. So he just looks stupid. While
It look
while we're on
crazy.
that, I can't let this go. I also hinted at this too. I mean, well, broke this down too. So Andre, staying on Andre, he's at 168 right now, right? They said this is his first fight at 168, right? Andre was supposed to fight Billy Ho Saunders like 2 years ago at 168, right? And then on top of that, when he gets over to PBC and makes his debut at 168, fighting Demond Nichols, he says he wants to fight two Charlos, one at 154 and one at 160. What sense does this make to you, bro? Why are you debuting at 168 if you want to fight the Charlos who are at 160 and 154? And then if you want the Charlos so bad, why should we believe you now, seeing as you had an opportunity to fight both Charlos and blew both? So talk to me about that.
I believe that Andre is under the impression Jamal moving up to 168, like I am. But I mean, look, we all know the
If that's the
story
case,
about how dirty Andre did PBC and left what Jamel Charlo like a week before the fight. We all know that.
yeah.
But he just put himself in the same position as Crawford gonna have to put himself in to get the Errol Spence fight.
What you mean by that?
He gonna have to pick crumbs up off the floor first.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're gonna humiliate that man. That's why. Errol Spence finna fight Keith Thurman because they want to do. They gonna have to. They want to get Terrence Crawford. Throw one of these
Throw
undercards
one of these
first.
undercards first.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like Boots is on some cash out shit, bro. I mean Boots, Boo Boo is on Brian Corbett, salute, DP Rocker, salute, welcome, welcome. But no, I feel like Doodoo Andre is on some cash out shit, bro. He literally, if that's who you want, and you're finally coming over here, but you're at 168, you're basically saying you don't want Morel, you don't want Benavidez, you don't want Caleb, you don't want any of the threats at 168, but even though you moved up to 168, but you're only calling out the Charlos, which you technically proved already that you don't have to be over here to do business, get those fights. But you come over here to get those fights, to fight Charlo, one who has a back injury, one who's defending undisputed, already in a fight, and then has announced an injury. So we two Charlos out of commission, but only name that Andre can say is Charlos, and he's
You
over
think
here.
Jamel? Do you think he really got a back injury?
Got a back injury.
Now I don't know. I can say this. I injured my back not too long ago. I didn't even know you can sprain your back, but I have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lumbar
yeah.
sprain, right? But I know that I have a fight March 11th. You feel me? So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, exactly, bro. I don't know. Like, is he injured or is he just like reevaluating life or getting resituated? I don't like to doubt people or play with that because being an athlete myself, I don't want to knock on wood or jinx myself under any circumstance like that. But I just I feel like if a man say he's injured, then he's injured. But seeing as his brother showed proof as well as EJ showing proof, I don't see why Maul is exempt from showing
Well,
proof,
did you
especially
believe
being out
Teofimo
here where he's
Lopez?
been. Fuck no, that wasn't an injury. No one has ever heard. No one has ever heard having air in your lungs is an injury, bro. No one has ever heard that your esophagus can blow up. I
Oh
didn't even know that
shit!
was a thing. So I can't believe those things because they're actually not believable. Whereas when somebody say they injure their back, I'm like, okay, I get it because literally that having that just happened to me and it being on the job, like, and I felt like such a pussy because it was like I'm just doing bar getting these drinks out of, I mean, like getting this liquid and mixing these drinks and stuff, and then out of nowhere I just hear this click and feel my like this pain in my back, near my spine. Now I don't know what's up with Cuz because again I have a fight in 2 months regardless. He been out almost 2 years now, so it's like
Who he was
there's a
finna
big
fight?
old difference.
Exactly.
Juneteenth, and think about it. If he
Exactly.
if he don't make a return this Juneteenth, I'm thinking it's over 2 years at that point because he's supposed
Nigga,
to
they
fight
would
next
have
exhibition
smoked him.
last.
That fight wouldn't have did nothing. I'm telling you, bro. He knew that. They saw that. They saw that coming. Man, that fight wasn't
Yeah,
gonna sell nothing.
that's what people were saying. But think about this: if that was the case, who was? Look at Jake Paul's how fast Jake Paul's turnaround was though. If that Charlos scenario is true, let's draw a parallel. Remember Jake Paul, um, they said that it was about uh Hasim Rahman not making weight, right? Or no, yeah, Hasim Rahman not making weight, and then people were saying that it was about tickets not being good, right? But then immediately, not even a couple months later, he's fighting Anderson Silva. So even if those tickets didn't do good the first time around, you better turn around and make something shake. You feel me? If that's the case with Charlo, it adds validity to him possibly being injured because you're like, damn, you've been out so long from that it must be an injury because if it was tickets, then you should have found a bigger name to fucking turn around and fight. You feel me? But in that same breath, it's hard to say because Amonte Stanioni, he just pushed his fight back 1 month and he's getting appendectomy surgery. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know, no, like, and I know that you, as a soldier, like you broke down to us I think it was on Blacks Talk Black to Me, when you talked about some details about your experience. So I'm like, real
Yeah,
injuries you can't really hide. You feel me? Real injuries you can't really hide, and it shouldn't be hard to disclose unless it's something, an experience that you don't really want to relive. But unless he blew his back out by getting his back blown out, then I don't see why he's being so secretive. You feel me? Like I
man,
just
this
don't get
nigga,
why you would be so secretive.
they going through a bunch of shit, so I don't want to really throw dirt on the nigga. But he one of my favorite fighters, but he full of shit.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But
Nigga full of
I got
shit.
him beating. I got him beating Doodoo, man. After what I
Yeah, he
seen,
beats
I
the
got
shit
him
out of
beating
dude.
Doodoo.
He
Stomping
still
him
beat
too.
Canelo.
Like, oh yeah, yup. Especially after what I seen, their two last performances. I'm like, yeah, and that's even including with Charlo's last performance against Montiel. Like, I still think that Charlo beats Doodoo and Canelo. But not to harp too much longer on that. Oh, and thank you so much, Brian Corbett. I appreciate that. And we're here and support you. The love is reciprocal, bro. But yeah, that said, Speedy Rashidi Ellis on his fight. Talk to me.
He kind of man. Look, but keep in mind he was on like a 27-month layoff, so he did good. He did real well, man. He didn't win. He didn't lose that fight.
Yeah.
He did real well, man. He just gassed.
That's the problem with the outboxers. It's frustrating with me with that too. Like I can honestly say I seen Rashidi Ellis literally dominate the the amount of rounds that you need to win the fight. He took
Definitely,
7 rounds. He took 7 or 8 rounds from him easily, easily.
easy,
And
easy.
then and it was literally consecutive. He did it back to back to back to back from the beginning all the way up to like 7, 8, 9, right?
The
Then he
fight was
started to
boring until you got tired.
right because he was in so much control. And then as soon as he started to get tired, that's when he let Cuz back in the fight. And the same thing I said to K Rod when we were talking about it was you got you as a boxer you mustn't give the puncher the one variable that he needs to win, and that's time. If you give a puncher time, then he has the opportunity to have a puncher's chance. If you eliminate
Hmm.
time by stepping to the by stepping to the puncher, you don't give him a puncher's chance because he's always off balance or he's always resetting. You feel me? Because he can't set his feet, he can't land the power on you. Instead, you did all of this boxing around him, circles, boxing circles around him, literally to the point where you gassed yourself out and you couldn't get away when the time called for it. When you actually needed your legs to get you out of tough positions, you didn't have them. But when you did have it, you utilized it too much. You feel me? So it's kind of frustrating that he did so well just give just to give away a few rounds. And think about it, if you get two knockdowns in a round, that's 10-7, right? That's 3 rounds right there. You know what I mean? Or 3 or 4 rounds right there, right? So all you got to do is win two for it to be a draw, and win three for you to actually win the fight. So if we seen that he gassed out and let a couple rounds slip away from him, then that would be enough for it to be a draw. I would say enough for it to be for me to call it a robbery. Yeah, I mean,
No, the
can I say
cards, the
that's
actual
enough to not
card.
call it a robbery? No, like I can't say that it wasn't a robbery. It still was a robbery because like we can't etch out 3 clear rounds that Vila won outside of the knockdowns. Just being honest, like I can't etch out 3 clear rounds that he won. So yeah,
Two.
it was stolen from him. It was stolen from uh Rashidi, but can I can I cry like hardcore robbery? No, because you enabled him to have the one thing he needed, and that was time, so that he could land a punch. Now, if say he punched you a little bit harder than he did, you wouldn't have beat the count, and nobody could cry robbery. You feel me? Because
brother.
then he knocked your ass out.
That count was kinda sus.
Yeah.
That second count was sus.
You thought it was long. You
Fuck
thought it was
yeah.
long for that boy.
My nigga was like, my nigga was like 5. Went over, told dude to get to the corner, looked that nigga Rashidi in the eyes. Foul.
Six.
I'm like,
Oh shit.
damn.
Bro,
They
no.
doing him
How
like
did we
Wilder.
overlook this? You right. That's a good point because if you say that, then how did we overlook the Demond Nickel knockdown of Andre? Because literally the man literally hit him with a 4 punch combination, and they ain't even call it a knockdown. But
He
when
was like, no
Demond
good.
gets hit on the gloves and gets grazed on the chin, but hit on the glove and his feet is off balance. One, two. He's like, bro, what's up? I'm good. Like so that I don't like the A side refing, man. That A side refing shit get on my nerves. Like it really get on my nerves.
It's
But
as bad as home cooking. All right, what's worse? A side reffing or bogus motherfucking cards? Cause we dealing with a lot of bogus cards lately.
yeah. See, so because you got A side ref and you got A side judging, but I guess you could say A side judging more so than the refing because we rarely see fights stopped by the ref as much as I mean determined by the ref as much as we see determined by the judges, right? So I would say yeah, the what's worse would
Well, hold
probably be
on.
the
Terrence
A
Crawford got
side
what?
judging.
9 TKOs back to back to back.
Yeah, straight bullshit.
True.
Straight bullshit. All on bullshit. Like from apple cider to green
I just
beans, bro.
that was just one question.
Like
Cause look,
literally.
that shit look good.
Yeah, it do. It do.
My man's on 11 knockout winning streak.
He is, man. He is. But then when you actually go to the names and you be like, damn, Kell Brook with basically two broken eyes. Sean Porter on his deathbed, basically retired. He already got one knee down. All you gotta do is knock the other one down. You got David at Amnesia. You got Mean Machine, Cabalapalapagis. You got like think of the people that Amir Khan, who he couldn't even actually stop, who he had to bust his sack, he had to bust his balls for Amir Khan to give up. Like I mean, like if we're looking at his actual track record, we gotta look at Cuz and be like, who are you
Nah.
actually like? What are you displaying to us? Yeah, you got all these knockouts, but then when you go, and it's funny because Boots is next. I mean, after Speedy Rashidi, right? But this gets me to my point that I gotta cook on actually at some point. Oh, and my low D Man Jr. What's cracking with you, Cuzzo? Welcome. But Boots, he goes to decision with Karen Chukaki. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, that's basically our first time seeing Boots go to decision, right? Boots he went to decision I think once before that and got like a disqualification, but and now all of a sudden he's not the goods. But that
I got
wasn't
a
the
question
case
for
when.
you.
Yes, please.
Was this a showcase fight?
Was this a showcase fight for Boots?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it
Okay.
was supposed to be. It was supposed to be. So now, real quick, it was supposed to be. Did he display what he was supposed to display? No, but this was his opportunity to be a showcase fight. He was on the biggest card he could be on, besides a Wilder card, right? He was on the tank card, right? Oh yeah, my bad, look, it's Chupacabra. It's Karen Chupacabra. But so now look, he's not the goods because he went to decision against some unknown white boy, right? But why did that not apply to Bud Crawford when he beat Ricky Burns, or when he went the distance with Ray Beltran? He went the distance with Ray Beltran, y'all. I mean, no, is it Ray Beltran? It might be.
Yeah.
I might be. Yeah, I'm like, what are we saying? So he's not the goods because he goes the distance with Chupacabra, but he goes the distance with Ricky Burns and Ray Beltran, and that's just me not going back too far. That's literally
Yeah.
just before this knockout streak, if we're being honest. Just before this knockout streak. And then if we go to, because right, he's knocked out everything at welterweight, right? But but then if we go to EJ, and mind you, EJ was boots before boots. So we got to go to when EJ had a decision, right? So when EJ decisioned, who was it? And I'm not gonna say Mikey Gordon because that's everybody's go-to. So I gotta go
That
back
was
and
Mikey. It
find
was
that.
Mikey though.
Yeah, I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go to somebody else because that's everybody's go-to, and I can't use that as the same reason because literally he. If I use that as a parallel, it wouldn't work. Why?
It
Because
can't work because
Boots was trying
Mikey's
to stop
was.
him, and and EJ was trying to prove that I'm a better boxer. I wasn't trying
Well,
to
no.
stop him, whereas
All
Boots
right,
was trying to
look.
stop everybody. So that's why I want to use that as an example. But EJ, whoever he went the distance with, like a Porter, okay, EJ went the distance with Porter or Danny or something like that, right? But they weren't saying EJ's not the goods because of that. So I'm just saying, like, let's be fair. If we let's call it how we see it. Boots, he struggled to cut off the ring with Guy. He struggled to, well, not struggled. He didn't do what we all expected of him, and that's get the guy up out of there. But out, yes. So I'm like, when I look at Bud against Ray Beltran and Ricky Burns, did he pitch a shutout? Yes. EJ versus Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, did he pitch a shutout? Yes. So
I
I
don't
don't
think he
see
pitched
how
a
the
shutout
motherfucker
against
ain't the
Sean Porter.
goods.
Well, all right, look. Let me explain this
Well,
to you
well,
though.
yeah. That was a bad example. I'm sorry,
I
but
get what you're
with
saying
that
though.
knockdown on the cards, he won on every judge's eyes, but he
True.
didn't stop the guy. So going the distance, did he win and did he send a message that he's that dude via winning? Yes. So I'm like, but when it comes to Boots, who's the new EJ, who's the new boogeyman, he shows one sign of being human. One sign of being human, having a flaw. Not, oh, he can't cut off the ring. He gets knocked out by Bud and EJ. I'm just like,
Well, no.
oh
All
yeah,
right. Look. Look. Look.
okay,
Look. Look. Look.
okay.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Let me. I see, and I like Boots, and I hate to do this, but now listen, bro. Like, can we both agree that this boy that he was fighting was not trying to fight Boots back?
Right.
All right. So how many traps did Boots get hit by against a motherfucker that we both agreed that wasn't even trying to fight him?
That's a good point. I mean, quite a few.
Okay, so you think with those same,
Quite a few,
you
but
think fighting Terrence Crawford, he get hit with them traps, is he gonna be on his back? Yes or no?
getting back. You hear me start stuttering? I said
I'm just, I'm just kicking logic. I'm just kicking
but
logic.
no, that I do not know yet, which is why me and my little
That
brother have always like, and you're the person online to be able to bring this out of me. Now, in person, this is my only thing I can say. In person about Boots is what I say in person. He can possibly beat EJ and Bud, but will he? That's to be determined. I can't say he will because
I
he
get
hasn't
what you're
proved that he
saying.
will. I'm saying he can, but by that logic, I can't say that Bud knocks him out because I don't know that Bud. Like, I'm looking at Bud's power and him flushing people, and I'm always kind of shocked when I see Bud perform. But then in hindsight, when I'm rewatching Bud's fights, I don't know if it's because of the anticipation when it's live and we feel like we're getting closer to EJ. But then when I'm rewatching these fights and I'm film studying Bud, I'm like, Bud has good timing, but Bud is like not far off of who Keith Thurman is. Like, I'm not
Facts.
saying that Keith Thurman is bad. It's just they're both wide. They catch you with hooks. If they can catch you with hooks, they're gonna get you out of there. And it's all about timing with their hooks. But
Okay.
I've seen people that didn't necessarily work on who are lesser competition with Bud hence uh, Ricky Burns, Ray Beltran, even Amir Khan with his lateral movement, he wasn't able to land those hooks like that. Now, granted, he knocked Amir Khan down in the first or second round, but he wasn't able to get Amir Khan out of there. He made Amir Khan quit and look for a way out, because he didn't want to be in there with Bud. Now, the what if after that is a whole scenario, but the what if after Sean Porter is a whole scenario. So when I look at Bud, I'm just like, I look at Keith as a threat, I look at Bud as a threat, but I'm like, both of y'all are like always there to be hit, always open, wide the fuck open. Like Keith Thurman's defense is starting to look better than Bud's defense, in my opinion, because Keith Thurman at least has his hands up, whereas Bud he don't put his hands up until after you landed like 3-4 punches on him. Period. Like he literally didn't shell up until Sean Porter was blitzing him and had him on the back foot. That's the only time he put his hands up, and he'll try to catch you after you're landing these straight shots. But can he take the shots from Boots before he lands his? Because we all know Bud's a slow starter. So I'm like, you're going to be slow trying to download a kid who you don't have Karen's feet. Bud don't got Karen's feet. You know what I mean? He had
He
Karen's
don't
feet.
need Karen's feet. He don't need, bro. Boots
So he
was
gonna stand in the pocket with Boots, and Boots
no
ain't gonna have
Boots
no leverage on his
literally
punches.
was chasing this dude, bro. Like I'm talking like he wasn't even cut. At first, he was cutting the ring off. He too young, bro, because he got so mad. He just started getting popped, bro.
Yeah.
Keith Thurman would be a nightmare for fucking. If Karen, whoever is doing is putting doubt in people's mind about who Boots is, imagine if that was Keith Thurman. Imagine if that was Keith Thurman.
If that was Keith Thurman, he wouldn't have got away. But I respect that though. I respect that. Give me 1 second. Give me one
Because
second.
Keith Thurman gonna rough rubble.
Keith Thurman, yeah, he definitely gonna move. He definitely gonna move. Now, D man, you say he threw as many punches as Boots. Yeah, that's a good point. King Corleone, and this is the menace. Was moving like Sugar Ray versus Marvin Hagler. Okay, now look, we're already here with it. We might as well stay here with it. So again, I've been Team EJ longer than I've been Team Boots. Pittsburgh, PA. So I'm from PA. So it's obvious who I got to rock out with at the end of the day. But like, I I feel like if anybody's to beat Boots is EJ. I don't see the same thing with Bud. I see the respect that Bud has for Boots and the way that he talked about Boots, that I know he won't be the one to give him a shot, which is why I think even though he is young, and I do agree that um, I can't say it's too soon because the man got 31 fights. There's bullshit to say it's too soon. At some
But
point, he
he
needs
ain't
to
got
get
no
these
like.
shots.
Look, he got a bunch of Mexicans, bro. Like, what, let me tell you some real shit that's going on in boxing. They not fight. They fighting flat-footed dudes are standing in front of them. They looking lightning fast. They looking real fucking accurate. They looking powerful. The second they fight a person with a little bit of fucking foot movement, we get the fight from Saturday. You get what I'm saying?
I do, I do, and
So it.
I don't know if you
Go ahead.
you deem me the boxing romantic or the optimist this whole show, because I feel like I'm in that pocket again somehow. I feel right back in that bag again talking about Boots.
No, I love Boots
But
though. I love Boots. I love Boots.
I don't believe that's I don't believe that this is a regular occurrence for Boots. I'm not one of the Boots apologists necessarily saying, oh, like that what he showed us was a good thing. No, it's not that. I just do believe that um I believe this was a bad showing for Boots. But
Mm-hmm.
if his bad showing is destroying a dude on points and going 12 rounds for the first time in his career, then I'd rather look bad like that then anybody else is looking bad. You know what I mean?
The only thing, see,
Because
people think, in my opinion, Boots don't look bad, right? He just not S tier. He not fucking with Bud and Earl. Everybody else he can fuck with him. Except for I feel like Keith Thurman to give him a problem. But like I just feel like he not Bud and Crawford. I mean Bud and Spence, bro. That's it. Like he didn't move the bar didn't move up or down. He just showed glaring weaknesses. He just showed he's not ready for the belts. He need to
you know
fight a
what?
champion. He need to fight a former champion.
That's it. That's it. And I think that's where we all are. So I can say too soon in the aspect of we still haven't seen him fight former champions at welterweight. That's the issue. We've seen him fight like former champions, that and Thomas Delorme, that and Sergey Lipinets, but we haven't seen him fight former champions in the welterweight division. That is that
True.
caliber that we missed. So I can see what you're saying. I can agree 1,000% with that because if we're actually looking at it, there's a step missing there. You don't go from um, contenders and champions. You go to former champions then champions. So I see what you're saying there in that aspect. That
His
said,
safest fight, his safest fight is Ugas.
oh, that's a
Cause
good
Ugas
point.
don't got the power to put him down.
That's a good point.
He
And
got the
they got
boxing
history
skill.
there.
Yeah, he got the boxing skill to expose him. But he got the power. He don't got the power to put him down, so he can learn in the ring.
Yeah. And learn from somebody who will necessarily, I mean, who won't, like, he will be there to be hit because
Yep.
because stylistically he's not a lateral movement, a lateral mover, but you do get that former champion experience, and then you also do get someone who's a high level counter puncher and someone who can fight too.
Who
So you
can
get the
definitely
best
fight.
of both worlds. You get that brawler and you get that boxer, but you don't get someone who's so elusive that you look like you did against Karen Chukachaki, the Chupacabra. So that said, I'd say you kind of bodied me when it came to boots.
Oh no, this wasn't no
Boots.
competition, big dog.
No, but no, you gave me some clarity there because I felt like I wasn't being a Boots apologist, or I felt like I wasn't coming to his defense. But in essence, I was playing on in his defense. But we came to the same conclusion that he's not ready for the next level because I'm not as certain in my pick against Bud or EJ with Boots as I was before that fight. I can't say that I am as certain. And then that said, like he was skipping a step, like we said against former champions. But let's talk about Tank, man. Tank showed me something. I can honestly say, Tank shocked me as far as when I was looking. Like I knew picking Tank with 6 rounds as the latest against Hector Garcia was a bit extreme, and I don't tend to be extreme whenever I'm picking these fights. I try to be practical. But when I picked that, it was also because I seen other people picking less rounds, and I'm like, maybe I'm not seeing uh, something that Hector has to bring to the table, or maybe I'm looking too much into Hector's background and giving him too much of a chance. But when I seen Tank Davis basically not able to knock him out, right? But was able to break his will, was able to literally remove the fight from that man. That to me was impressive. That to me was a learned experience when it came to Tank because I seen Tank do this to the point where people just don't beat the count. They just fall like Pedraza. You know when he beat Pedraza up bad and then they dropped him. You looked at Pedraza's face. The ref looked at his face. He started to count and then he waved it off. He didn't even really care for Pedraza to try to get up and get it and get to it. It was like you've received too much damage. The fight was beat out of you, even if you attempted to come and beat the count. I seen in this Tank fighting the guy, him putting together combinations, coming forward, exchanging, punching with him, and then I seen a guy who's an Olympian, a guy who has hundreds of amateur fights, not get off the stool because he had a hand problem, not the stool because he was being outwitted, but not get off the stool because he didn't. There was nothing else he had to offer Tank, regardless of if he could see or not. Was the health bar factor for the audience or the doctor to decide? But the fight he had left in him was gone. He had nothing left to offer Tank, and we could all see that if he went back out there, that was it. It was going to be curtains. Tank was going to do something bad to dude because he was already building to that point, and it wasn't like he had to close the distance more. It wasn't like he had to up his punch count. But all he had to do was do what he was doing in all of the rounds before. So I seen with that performance from Tank that Tank, Wilder, and better be and typically Boots is in this conversation as well, prove that any man can be broken down, whether it's knocking him out or just literally forcing him not to continue. But any man can be broken down. So I was thoroughly impressed by what Tank did, though I initially wasn't impressed with the picking of this opponent. After doing my research, I was thoroughly impressed with Tank. I can honestly say. What
Roger
you think,
that.
Cuzzo?
Yeah, it's impressive that Tank brought up a guy for 130 and bludgeoned him. I love
Now,
boxing
mind you,
fans, man. I
no,
love you
mind you,
guys, man.
mind you. Listen, I would mind you. Listen, I would be like, you know, on in that same accord. Tank he's bringing up littler guys and beating up on littler guys, right? But Tank ain't. I hate
He
to
not
I hate
big.
to
He
be a
five
part of the
five.
consistence.
He 5'5".
Right. I
You
hate
know
to
what I'm
be a
saying?
part
He
of the
5'5".
consistence, right? He a little dude, and on top of that, he started at 126 itself,
Just
right?
think about this.
So moving up from 126 to 135, you're not a natural 135 pounder, and the dude he fought was 5'9". He was
But now
5'9"
look,
at 130.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. You just think about this. We just watched Tank fight Hector Garcia. Meanwhile, we know he could fight whoever the fuck he want to fight.
Yeah, Devin Haney.
So yeah,
Uh,
so we settle it. I like Tank. Congratulations on the $5 million gate. Successful pay per view without Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations for putting black people on. But we not gonna pretend like we didn't think this dude was out of there in 6 rounds, bro. Like people act like
yeah,
they thought this was going 12. People act like, you know what I mean? Come on, man.
yeah.
Every
Now
like what is this? What are we doing? This nigga beat
you're right.
fucking Colbert. Like we thought Colbert was who? Who we thought Colbert was? Bro, who we thought Colbert was?
Man, we
No
thought this
fucking body.
little scoop out here, nigga. Like
So
you
we
right,
beat
you right.
we take a nigga to beat nobody, get a fucking tank fight, bro.
That's how it
And this
is,
nigga's
right?
at 135 that deserve a tank fight.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Like
fucking
no, you right. You right.
all the good shit
It's
about Tank. He knocked the nigga out, bro. That's it.
yeah. I
We're not
mean,
gonna ever hear from Hector Garcia ever again.
but listen, bro. I can say this in defense of Tank, and mind you, I'm not. I can be viewed as one of like I can be viewed as a Tank hater. To be honest, the way I'm viewed as a Bud hater, I could be viewed as a Tank hater because I drew parallels between Tank and Bud. I mean,
It's easy.
they're my yeah they're literally my Yin Yang Twins Part 1 video, and I think it's called Yin Yang Twins: The Bad of Boxing on my channel, and it's Bud and Tank, and then you got Yin Yang Twins Part Two, The Good of Boxing, and it's EJ and Dev. And I draw
What
parallels between the paths, but go ahead. Sorry about that.
I got 1%
I
left
got
on my
1%
phone,
left on my phone.
Oh shit.
and I'm
Oh,
yeah.
tell the people where to
So
follow you. Tell them how to tap in with you, and I'll finish up.
yeah,
Yeah,
this is Hustle's
this
Home.
is Hustle's Home.
You can follow me
You
on
can follow
Instagram
me
and
on
Twitter at
Instagram and
Hustle's
Twitter
Home
at Hustle's
and
Home
YouTube.
and YouTube.
I'm gonna try to make more
I'm gonna try to make
videos
more videos
because boxing is
because
always popping
boxing
in
is
the beginning
always
of the
popping in
year.
the beginning of the year.
Hell yeah.
All right, big
We need
dog.
more
Thanks for having
takes,
me.
and we need more takes. No, thank you, bro. It was a pleasure chopping it up with you. I'm gonna let you use the rest of your 1%. It was a pleasure having you on the boxing breakdown, and we will have you back again soon, family.
Thank you, man. Peace.
Thank you, man. Peace.
No problem at all. Deuces. Yeah. So y'all, so as I was saying about uh Tank. Now I can't say in his defense. Now the guy that he fought was an Olympian. The guy that he fought, um, I guess, was a title holder at 130, and Tank doesn't seem to be married to 135. Tank looks to be looking at having his 1 foot in this division and 1 foot out, as we seen with Tank versus Barrios, and then Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz. One at 140, one at 130, and he's currently at 135. So it's like with Tank doing that, it's not a justification to not fight people who earned the fights at 135. I believe us as fans deserve we deserve the priority of having him fight the people who earn the fights at 135. But for someone who has 1 foot in 140 and 1 foot at 130, um, I guess who else like it I'm saying that it extends the possibilities of who Tank will fight even further than what we would like. So where we're looking at it as a scope of 135 are deserving people. There are people that are at 130 who in heavy quotations are being viewed as deserving, or in heavy quotations at 140 are being viewed as deserving. Even though the people who fight Tank are necessarily never the ones who deserve it the most. But I just look at Hector Garcia as one of the least of the soft touches that I've seen Tank pick. I feel like if this was a cherry, and then so was Pitbull Cruz, you know what I mean? And if these are his levels of cherries, then he's stepping it up in my eyes. At least, especially when it comes to how he's handling the guys. So that's what I got on that. Last but not least, y'all, we got Fa Jogba versus Big Shot Shaw coming up this week. Whoever y'all got, please let me know. Oh, my little brother stepped in the chat. King getting it. Black Sun 9-4 Films. What's cracking with you, bro? What's cracking with you, Loke? But I'm actually just finishing up. Actually, you just missed the show, Nuka. It's like, nah, you good. But yeah, I'm just finishing up. We got Fa Jogba versus Big Shot Shaw to look forward to on Saturday. I'll be calling the undercard. I'm sure we got the likes of the Big Brother channels like KQKC, the ladies, um, BF. There's a lot of people who may call the main card, but I'll just be calling the undercard slash prelims. But by all means, oh yeah, it's all love, bro. You already know it ain't no thing. But yeah, I appreciate all of y'all stopping by. Much love and appreciation. Do not miss us. We will be back for the boxing breakdown and boxing breakdown prelims on Saturday. Um, don't miss the FA Jogba versus Big Shot Shaw card. Do me a favor, family. Do me a favor. Support, subscribe, follow everything. LDBC, Trilitary, TWT, Simple Truth Network, my OGs, OG Local, that's Condo Local Sports, OGK Hope, that's Black Fight Fan TV, the OG, the General, 7-8 Sports TV. Support the Usual Suspect 6, support the Usual Suspect 6, and shop usualsuspect6.com. Pick up each, support each individual Usual Suspect, pick up some of their gear collectively as well as individually. Support my little brother. Check out my little brother, Black Sun. That's 9-4 Films on YouTube, 9-4 Sun God on Instagram. And check out my other two channels, HFO Church and Acting Right TV. 3 ways to support the channel, family. 3 ways to support the channel. Way number one, shopusualsuspect6.com. Shopusualsuspect6.com. Get you some combat tool bag merch. We got warm weather gear. We got cool weather gear. Way number two, we got a 4 book series on entry level financial literacy available on Amazon.com called Hustle God series. You can type in Hustle God series in Amazon or Michelangelo Turner in Amazon. You'll find Hustle God's Linguistics of Money. That's the language of the 1%. Hustle God Masterpiece, Daily Gold in Mind Molding. Hustle God Afro Gold Part 1 and Hustle God Art of the Hustle. Um, they will also be links available in the description whenever this upload is complete. And the third and final way to support the channel is you can sponsor or endorse an athlete creator by diving into or donating to the Cash App. Um, Anything counts anytime. Cashtag is money sign Hustle God Inc. Money sign Hustle God Inc. That said, much love, family. It's your boy Prince the Hustle God, aka Wise the Warlock, aka Michelangelo the Madman. You successfully reached in your combat tool bag one more again. It is a cold black affair. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. LDBC only, LDBC or nothing. LDBC versus everybody, and LDBC everywhere. That said, I love y'all. Again, much appreciation for stopping by and hanging out with your boy. And see y'all on Saturday, Tuesdays, and Saturdays for the boxing breakdown. Deuces.